So, in our last video, we talked about and showed you how to create some feedback or a suggestion in our suggestion box. And you'll notice that we also have the ability to take a look at the comments that came along with it. Now you'll notice that in between these videos, I did cheat and I went and I voted for myself. So I have one vote on this idea and of course 9 votes left to assign to other great ideas as I'm seeing it. But you'll notice, as we talked about in the last video, nothing in progress, nothing in completed. So how do we see those things there, right? How do we see that, or how do we tell back our community that, hey, we took this into account and we're working on it, or hey, we finished working on that? Well, we're going to go back inside here and we're going to come back over, but instead of going down to our feedback box control, we're going to go up to our feedback itself. And when we come into feedback, we're going to be able to take a look at all the feedback that's in the system. Now, we also have the ability to add feedback if we want to create our own. But in this case, we're just going to see that there was one 10 minutes ago that was published, and we're going to want to go and take a look at that one. So we're going to click on Edit. When we click on Edit, if you're comfortable or used to the WordPress interface, you'll notice that this uses much of the same interface that you do when you're writing regular blog posts or pages and content like that. But you'll notice there's some additional information here on the right. On the side, what we'll see is not only who created it, but the status and a message if we needed to, and the status message icon. So if we were to close it, we could say, oh, we're done with this one, right? I mean, not as in that it's open feedback, but that we want to close this thing off. But more important for us is the notion of progress, right? We want to be able to say, hey, this is currently in progress. And so we can do that, changing the status, coming here and clicking update. And when we do that and come back over here, now when we come to take a look at in progress, we see it here. We still don't see it in completed. But if we come back and change it to completed and hit update, what we'll notice over here is the ability to see it load up in the completed. At least we should be able to. It should leave progress, and there we see it in completed. It's important to be able to click in the right spot to see it. So that's how we're able to not only collect suggestions, but to articulate back to an audience where those suggestions are in process and how well we're doing with them. Now, that's how this module works. You'll notice here that this is the information that was also available in the module that you can write and author on your own and configure. So we can adjust that if that's not the right text that we want there. But all in all, it's a pretty clean way to do it. And as you can imagine, you can add more than one, right? So this is my second idea, right? And I'm going to submit that. Now you'll notice, of course, that there are 2 ideas come into popular. You'll notice it resorts by the one that's voting or getting votes first, and if I come to newest, it should reverse that order. So here it is. This was suggested a minute ago versus something that was suggested 13 minutes ago. So you can see that these are progressing. You're able to collect a lot of them. As you saw in an earlier one, you get up to 15 per page, and then we go to the next page. And the other thing you'll notice is the icon over here to the right, that checkbox. That checkbox says, hey, it's completed, right? Had this one been in progress, we would have seen that, etc. So it does give us some instant feedback to see how it's going. So that's our suggestion box, right? One of the main features of the site. In the next video, we'll take a look at the forums and see how that works.